More gut instincts, creepy feelings that you have in the pit of your belly that just might save your life one day. Not all of these are life-saving though. Some of these save lives, some of these save your car, some of these, you know, like it's whatever. They're gut feelings that you should always listen to. And I always say this, right? You want that chicken nugget, that sweet nugget that's just like sitting there on the kitchen counter. Mum's gone for the day. Dad's outside in the garden doing whatever, right? No one's there. No one will know. You want it? Just take it. Eat it. Listen to your gut. Feed your gut because your gut saves you. When he was a young adult, my dad went to Madrid to stay with a friend. There was a sudden change and they couldn't pick him up from the train station, so he had to sleep in the station. 2 customs officers showed up and started showing my dad their badges, telling him to go with them. Already unsure because they weren't in uniform, my dad followed them anyway. They were putting his stuff in the back of an unmarked car and beckoning him to get in, all the time reassuring him and showing their badges. This sounds dodgy AF already. Sounds like some Born Identity stuff. You guys seen that movie, Born Identity? Watch it. He saw a police officer walking down the side of the road. Feeling that something was really wrong, he went up to the police officer and asked him to help get his stuff out of the car. The police officer went over to the 2 men, got the stuff out of the car and talked to them and got them to show him their papers. Turns out they were fakes, and the officer took Dad back to the police station after arresting the 2 men and allowed him to stay the night there. Dad got back with his friend and we all lived happily ever after. Dude, don't need to end it like that, bro. But like, yeah, looks like dodginess, smells like dodginess, tastes like dodginess. It's dodginess. Don't do whatever they're asking you to do, okay? So my friend and I were walking around at 2 in the morning playing Pokemon Go. Playing Pokemon Go when it first came out. Yeah, it would be strange to be walking around at 2 a.m. in the morning with your friend for any other occasion apart from when Pokemon Go first came out. Because we all did it. Don't lie. If you say you didn't do it, you're a dirty liar. Okay, maybe you're not. But like me and Wenji, we did that too. Like it was nuts. It was crazy. We were up at all hours playing Pokemon Go. So I can totally relate. Anyway, it was very quiet and we were just talking to each other when all of a sudden a very loud truck came down the road and drove past us. Then all of a sudden, I just got this feeling in my gut that told me to run. I told my friend what I was feeling and he immediately told me to run. So we ran behind a gas station parking lot and hid behind a dumpster for a second. And sure enough, that same truck had turned around at the light and came back to the parking lot and even went behind the store, still in their truck looking for us. They were in and out, but it was still one of the most chilling feelings I've had before. Well, I mean, if you and your friend are just out at night alone, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, no one else around, that's like the prime target. So good thing that you had that gut feeling. And also, if you did get kidnapped, Pokemon Go is to blame. My mom and dad went to visit some friends in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Their friends introduced my parents to their daughter and her boyfriend. Well, the entire time my parents were visiting, my mom kept getting this really bad feeling about the boyfriend. He made her so uncomfortable for some reason that my parents actually ended up leaving early because my mom kept getting such a weird vibe from the guy. Well, a few weeks later after the visit, the boyfriend killed my parents' friends, their daughter and other kids, and then himself. So my mom was definitely right. Holy sh! Dude, that literally went from 0 to 1,000,000 miles an hour. He just killed everyone. That would be chilling. Like if that happened to me, I would need therapy for the rest of my life. Literally. And candy. Lots of candy. I'm a vet. I gave a vaccine to a toy breed dog today. He has had this vaccine before with no problems. Immediately after giving the shot, he just looked slightly off to me. Maybe just more quiet than usual, but all his vitals were normal. He just wasn't quite his typical happy self. My gut said, this is not right. I asked the owner to wait 15 minutes before leaving to make sure there was no vaccine reaction. 5 minutes later, he had an anaphylactic seizure in my lobby, but I was ready for it. I gave him emergency treatment for anaphylaxis. 1 hour later, he's barking his full head off incessantly in my treatment room to tell me he's ready to go home. That is crazy. So he had the vaccine before, no issues. Why? Like what went through that vet's head to make him be like, he's had it before, it was fine. But this time I'm just not happy. You know, like let's keep him. Like that is some good vetting. Well done, vet. I woke up at 7 a.m. I'm usually an extremely late sleeper and would happily go straight back to sleep. That time though, something told me to get up now. I walked out of my room and found the living room porch door wide open. I'm so lucky nothing was stolen and my pets didn't get out. Wait, that's it? That's it! Okay, so you woke up because you were in the middle of being robbed, but then you didn't get robbed? Oh, you left? That means you left the door open yourself, you dumbo. That's what it means, right? And that your pets didn't get out. I mean, you slept the whole night. The fact that your pets didn't get out has nothing to do with you waking up at 7 a.m. I'm confused. It was like someone was telling me to stand in my kitchen. I had everything I needed to leave for work, but this feeling of forgetting something was so strong I just stood there. Okay, this kind of story feels like it kind of picked up from halfway, but they didn't want to leave for work. After I checked for everything again, I took a step toward the door and it was like someone was yelling at me to stop, so I stood for 10 more seconds. So they just weren't going out the front door. Then the feeling went away, like a gate was lifted and I could pass. I got in my car and did my normal drive. I hit some heavier than normal traffic before coming across a 5-car pileup. One car was turned 180 degrees. Others were smashed and everyone was standing around on their phones. Had I left like I wanted to, I would have been in it. I knew it. I knew it too. And just said out loud, thank you. Who are you thanking? You thanking yourself? You thanking your own brain?
Thanks, brain.
But that is a bit crazy. Like literally, if they left earlier, they could have been in that pile up. Interesting. You know what? Like there are some things that are just like at play. Some greater things at work here that you don't understand. You listen to your gut feelings, okay, guys? About 10 years ago when I was married, my wife's best friend kept flirting with me. One time she was being super aggressive. I thought it might be a good idea to record it on my cell phone. A few months later, she accused me of saying the same things that she had been saying to me. One listen from my wife on my phone completely exonerated me and shut her down. She was trying to ruin my marriage because she was unhappy with hers. Dude, that's messed up. That is so messed up. Good thing you did record it on your cell phone. That's actually a really good idea. I might actually write that idea down in my own like ideas book in case, you know, someone tries to like set me up. There's no way that Wengie would believe anyone over me. But like, come on, bro, you can't be too sure, right? Protect myself. My mom had kept me home from school one day, but she still had to go to work, so she took me with her. We were about to stop at a gas station when I felt very sick and begged her to keep going. She pulled into the gas station and suddenly she felt sick and decided to go to a different station. We found out later that someone was shot while pumping gas at the station, maybe 5 minutes after we got out of Dodge. He was shot by one of the DC snipers. Holy moly. That is scary. And that's two people's gut feelings at play there, right? They both felt sick. I was 24 weeks pregnant with twins and had 3 Braxton Hicks contractions or fake contractions. With twins, I was allowed up to 8 an hour, but it didn't feel right, so I went to my doctor. Long story short, I was dilated, and if I hadn't gotten checked, I would have given birth at 24 weeks. Instead, they were able to hold off the labor for another 4. Still early at 24 weeks, but 4 weeks better than 24. I mean, good, I guess. There is no way I can use this information for myself. I will never have fake contractions. 28 weeks is still early, right? It's meant to be 40 weeks or 38 weeks or whatever it is. I was a delivery driver for a Chinese restaurant. My boss was horrible and he literally had no limit as to how far we would go to deliver. So I was on my last delivery before I could head home, and where I was headed was 30 minutes from my own house. There was no address, just the name of the college hall I was delivering to and a phone number to call to tell them I was outside. Going there, I had an uneasy feeling. I knew this was a bad area with lots of gun violence. Even though it's a college town, it was right dead in the middle of a horrible area. I get there at 10 p.m. My anxiety is through the roof and something in me was telling me just to get the hell out of there, but I called them. You know this is in America, right? Because it's in a gun town, obviously. That is already something I cannot relate to. Like, it feels so dangerous for regular people just to be able to buy guns. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? So I can't ever see myself living there, like, long term. It's just such a foreign concept to me. Like, I know a lot of you guys live there and it's probably normal for you guys, but it's something just never made sense to me. I called, they didn't answer, called again, didn't answer, called one more time, didn't answer, so I left. I got home and my mum was hysterically crying watching the news. A delivery driver from a different Chinese restaurant with the same name as the one I work at was delivering to the same college hall I was at. He was shot dead 5 minutes after I left. Dude. Wait, but if you got there first, they should have answered your call first. You are so lucky, buddy. You are so lucky. What was your gut feeling though? You didn't listen to your gut feeling. You went there in spite of your gut feeling and you could have died. See, should have listened to your gut feeling. As is the moral of all of these stories. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. Listen to your gut feeling, guys. Be safe. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.